Boris Johnson can't go now. We need him. He is our Churchill at this time of war, is the kind of narrative coming from the disgusting, sycophantic Tory MPs as they're excusing Johnson breaking the law, breaching the Ministerial Code by lying to Parliament and undermining the foundations of what still passes for a democracy in this country these days. The fact is, despite heading off on a photo op to Kyiv to meet Volodymyr Zelensky at the weekend, we aren't involved in this war. As part of NATO, we're very much on the outside of it, offering aid, yes, but not directly involved. The risk of starting a bigger war keeping us firmly out. Therefore, to say he needs to stay because of this war is a flat-out lie. Look at France, literally right now. They're having a presidential election. They're as at war as we are as fellow NATO members. Not only that, but we've always changed prime ministers during wartime too. 20 years in Afghanistan we had Blair, Brown, Cameron, May, and the criminal Johnson as PM. So Johnson himself is a prime minister appointed during wartime, becoming PM in 2019, and this war only ended last year. What about the war in Yemen? We're supplying weapons to Saudi Arabia, which are being used against Yemen. It started in 2015 whilst David Cameron was in office and is still going on now, 2 more prime ministers later. The Iraq war, which Blair took us into, he didn't see out, and nor did his successor. It was David Cameron again. Margaret Thatcher went halfway through the Gulf War. Clement Attlee went halfway through the Korean War. Neville Chamberlain went shortly after World War II started. Herbert Asquith went halfway through World War I. The 4th Earl of Aberdeen, yes, we're getting back to that sort of time now, went halfway through the Crimean War, and so on, because there's more examples besides that. We have always done it as a nation. This is not new. The Prime Minister is a criminal. This miserable excuse being trotted out by Tory MPs and ministers, frankly making them little better than accessories after the fact at this point. So here's a message for each and every one of them, defending Johnson and Sunak for breaking the law. We don't need him to lead us through a war. We're all bright enough to know we're not directly involved in it. We don't need him to steer the course through the pandemic. You told us it's all over, and we have to live with it after all. Of course it's not, but then 200,000 people are dead on your watch, many of whom died alone in hospital as we obeyed the rules. People of all ages, from children to the most vulnerable elderly people who were also sent into care homes to spread it. Johnson himself caught it, yet is so egregiously dismissive of others that it didn't change his take-it-on-the-chin attitude one iota and didn't stop him breaking the rules to party. He said the elderly should be more concerned with the economy than their own lives. He said, let the bodies pile up in their thousands, that only the over 80s will die, so that's okay. As for Sunak, he soon found the magic money tree to dole out billions on procurement, much of which was thrown away as substandard. Billions going to mates under the guise of dealing with the pandemic. Billions spaffed on a failed track and trace system we'll never see a return for our investment on, and wrote off billions in fraudulent furlough claims. This is what the Tories claim to be the strong leadership we needed. This is who they claim is needed still to steer us on through. Our health workers steered us through the pandemic, and they continue to do so. Yet all you did was give them claps and a pay cut. Let's not pretend your government, for it isn't mine, I refuse to recognise criminals running the country, handled this well. Let's also not pretend we need Johnson to steer us through the cost of living crisis when your government has thrown us under the wheels of the price gouging energy companies whilst not supporting people's incomes to be able to cope. Freezing or starving is the choice for too many now, and that is intentional and on you. This is not a recovery for anyone, and inflation soaring faster than predicted shows just what a mess you're making of things. The excuses all need to stop. Johnson broke the law. He broke the Ministerial Code. He has destroyed utterly an already eroding trust in our political system, processes and democracy, and the longer he stays, the worse this will become. We cannot have one rule for us and another for them, especially when they make the rules. Every Tory defending this needs to be roundly and soundly condemned, and frankly be told to resign too. There is no defence now. It doesn't matter how many times they say they didn't break the rules or all guidance was followed. They were lying. They were misleading us and Parliament, and they broke the law. They have to go, or I cannot see this ending well otherwise.